how we could deepen the engagement and reach the type of targets that we have set for ourselves. I would be completely out of place if I did not mention that today's event is really happening a day prior to the Fifth Assembly of the International Solar Alliance, which is going to be held in the same place, and India would host around 100 nations who will deliberate. Many of you who have come in advance are participating in this session today for that, and I see Mr. Ajay Mathur, the Director General, also with us for this session. And I would also like to really start by mentioning about someone who would have been driving this conference as not just the chair of the CII's Renewable Energy Council, but also as someone who has been extremely passionate, who has been a person who always gave that type. We saw the type of huge enthusiasm coming in him, whom we are missing very strongly today. Mr. Tulsi Tanti, the chairman of Suzlon, and the person who has actually chaired the CII's council. He was a sitting chairman of the CII's Renewable Energy Council. And we have the presence of his dear family here and even the members of the Suzlon group. And we really wanted to place on record our deepest gratitude to him for having led the Renewable Energy Council work so very strongly. And every time that he was in Delhi or we were elsewhere in meetings, including the CII's National Board, he always was full of enthusiasm and a great brand ambassador from the esteemed delegates who are present here. And just wanted to mention that Indian industry has been very much closely working with our government on the very, very ambitious targets that we have set for ourselves. And I just wanted to mention a couple of points from them. One, of course, ensuring a just transition. You know, at COP26, we know India declared it will achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2017, and some of our states have declared that they will not build any further thermal power station. But getting just energy transition requires a phenomenal international intentional focus, if I can say, on firstly achieving the transition and alongside ensuring that it is just. And that all requires having a process that is inclusive of many, many stakeholders who will be impacted because of switching from fossil fuel driven business towards alternatives. And we have seen the commitment of the government of India to move the economy towards net zero carbon emissions, as well as the several states of India who recognize that they will indeed make this transition. We know that the transition process is a net job revenue creator. Second, I just wanted to mention about financing the transition and ensuring access to technology. And without the robust long-term finance provision and co-development initiatives and platforms have already been initiated, and India plays a very, very important and critical role in the Clean Energy Ministerial Forum. Mission Innovation Platform is a founding member of the International Solar Alliance. As I mentioned, there are still significant issues in ensuring transfer of climate technologies, and stakeholders really need to develop, therefore, an integrated approach towards technology and climate finance, related plans and programs at the national and global levels, and in particular, the integration of technology needs assessments with other relevant national and sectoral plans and programs. Additionally, there is a need to enhance coherence between international institutions in order to reduce the complexity of processes that developing countries have to follow to requesting financing for climate technologies. Third, I just also wanted to mention about some of the initiatives that we've seen from the industry. And at CII, the Confederation of Indian Industry, we worked on the Green Power Market Development Program, Corporate Renewable Energy Procurement Program, which has resulted in substantial RE additions, as many of our industry members are aware of. And the Green Power Market Development Program really strongly resulted in that 700 megawatt renewable energy capacity and facilitated more than 3,400 crores of investment in corporate buildings and industry. And Indian corporates are indeed very, very committed now to the process of renewable energy. Fourth, the CII's corporate renewable energy study, and that covers 350 NSE listed companies across 17 of our states, and we found that 96% of our corporate members of the 350 have clear renewable energy targets and plans. An opportunity that we see for us as a country, for us as the industry, and with this huge collaboration that we see in the policy front and also in projects with the government and industry, we do see not only just the targets and plans to be in place, but we feel really so much energized today because we see India right on the top of the world's high table for discussions on renewable and renewable energy and clean climate. Thank you very much.
Strategy. And now to give the industry perspective, I'd like to invite Dr. Praveer Sinha, Co-Chairman, CII National Committee on Power and CEO and Managing Director, Tata Power.
Good morning, Honorable Minister for Power, New and Renewable Energy, Shri R.K. Sandhu, Secretary, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Mr. Bhushekar Chaturvedi, Excellencies, Senior Delegates, officials from government, ladies and gentlemen, I would first of all like to compliment both Ministry of New and Renewable Energy as also CII for arranging this event, which is a very, very important event, an annual event which got derailed during the COVID period, but I think the participation of such a large number of delegates demonstrates that the leadership of clean energy starts in India. In fact, this is a decade of India where India can really demonstrate both in thought and action that how we will convert and make 350 gigawatt of renewable energy a reality. And this is not something that will happen in one day, but I think the type of support, the type of collaboration, the type of work that is happening in India, I think we can really transform the way energy can be produced and used. But when we look at renewable energy, there are three main challenges that we have. First is renewable energy is intermittent. So how do we make it reliable? How do we come up with solutions? A number of solutions are being worked on, whether it is hybrid solutions of solar wind, it is hybrid solution of solar wind storage, which can be battery storage or any other type of thermal storage, renewable power, and make it a reality. But it requires certain amount of collaboration and work between different. We bring resilience in power sector. Renewable energy will have a backup of storage, it will have a backup of hydrogen, it will have a backup of hydro. But is it going to be resilient in terms of supply? There are technologies. Gas-based power plants can be a technology which can be used. India has ambitious plans to add nuclear capacity, and I think some of the work that is happening globally in making small modular design nuclear power plants will be very helpful. Also, there is a lot of work that is happening on nuclear fusion technology, not the nuclear fission, and I think again that's an area that with the collaboration and the technology interventions that can happen, we can make it resilient. The third area that I feel that we have to make renewable energy really sustainable in the long run and have a robust plan is when we make renewable energy supply chain secure. How do we bring security of supply in the components, in the raw materials that is required? The government plan through the PLI, the government plans to see that how do we also ensure total integration end to end, from polysilicon to ingots to wafers to cell to module. But then India can work. Similarly, when we talk of the batteries, the first name that comes in mind is the lithium-ion battery. But lithium is sourced from one country only. Do we have other chemistries? Do we have sodium sulfate batteries? Do we have liquid batteries? Do we have aluminum batteries? Do we have manganese batteries? Can we look at flow batteries? So I think there's good amount of work and technology interventions that need to happen so that our supply chain becomes secure. We are not dependent on one country or two countries, but create the necessary infrastructure in our country so that we produce the best technology and cost-effective technology for these to happen. Has taken phenomenal steps, whether it is in terms of the revised RPO obligation or it is making the payments security secure. And I think the type of changes, the type of support that is coming in various areas, and these are not just utility scale renewables, it is also in terms of distributed renewables, whether it is rooftop solar or solar pumps that is happening, the PLI, these products globally. So I think the way the policy support is coming, it is very good. It has a very long-term directional changes that it has suggested. There are some hiccups which I think in the short term will get a target. You don't have a plan, but I firmly believe that this is a great opportunity for India to demonstrate to the world that how we can shift if we desire to do that. And I'm sure with the support of every stakeholder in this will become a reality. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Secretary AatmaNirbhar, Mr. Chaturvedi, and ladies and gentlemen, this platform was a dream platform which was driven by Tulsi Bai, and I'd like to just remember him for a second. Together with him, we had spent countless hours trying to work on various initiatives that would be driven through this platform on making India what it is today, almost a 60 gigawatt solar country, 170 gigawatt renewable platform. I think all of this combined goes out to say that there is so much that India is at the cusp of achieving and is going to achieve. As we gather here today to further global partnerships and take concerted steps to develop green economy, it is imperative to take this vision of New India envisioned by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. The aim is to make the country and its citizens independent and self-reliant in all the senses. Let me today congratulate by starting with the Government of India and MNRE on the commendable work it has done by promoting domestic manufacturing in sync with the Honorable Prime Minister's AatmaNirbhar Bharat and the Make in India vision. As stakeholders in the green energy revolution of India, we recognize and appreciate the steps taken. Our government has taken significant steps in sustainability goals and establishing the nation as a thought leader and action towards climate change. India's Panchamrit concoction, the combat of climate change offered by our Honorable Prime Minister, puts forth a resilient and clear direction for India to transition to a low carbon economy, where the RE sector and the solar manufacturers are relentlessly working towards enabling this. Today, at the foremost priority of global economies is to be energy self-reliant. The world is looking at India today in playing a larger role in the global supply chain. The time is now to seize the opportunity. I firmly believe that in a matter of few years, every third solar panel made in the world is going to come from India. I am confident that if we continue on this path of accelerated policy reforms and to build a robust and resilient domestic solar ecosystem, we will emerge as a superpower in RE manufacturing. One clear lesson from the global energy crisis precipitated by the war at hand is that transition away from geopolitical concentrated fossil fuel resources is more equitable, distributed, renewable sources is much required.